Today on CityCast Boise, it's going to be hot this weekend, like triple-digit heat. So instead of our normal Friday news roundup, we're resharing our picks for the best ice cream in town. Executive producer Frankie Barnhill and contributor Jimmy Dawson will be our guides to some iconic cones and sundaes to help you cap off some hot summer days. It's Friday, July 5th. I'm Lindsay Van Allen, and this is what Boise's talking about.
Jimmy, let's talk ice cream. How you doing?
So hungry and thirsty because I don't have ice cream in front of me, Frankie.
I know. Well, it's definitely the right week to be talking about ice cream because it is very, very hot, getting even hotter in Boise over the weekend. So let's just do a general best ice cream category to start, and we can get into more specifics. What do you think? What's your take?
Okay, so Reed's Dairy, which if you're kind of like a lifer Idahoan, that name should spark an image in your brain. They specialize in really high, fat content ice cream, which is what makes it so smooth and has more body and more of like, it sticks with you, to be honest. And the flavors are phenomenal. I don't know if you've been able to go out to, it's in sort of southwest Boise. They have a location here.
No. So tell me all about it. I've been wanting to check it out, but I still haven't been. So what about it is so special? You said it's like extra creamy. What else?
It's just all about the ice cream itself. The location isn't really anything to write home about. It's just kind of in a strip mall. They spruced it up in there, and they've got some freezers with to-go ice cream, and they have cheese. And I have a particular friend, Christina Lords, who swears by their chocolate milk.
Okay. So like you're not going to go there for the aesthetic, but you're going there to get just like really legit, creamy, delicious ice cream and dairy products. What's the flavor that you had when you've been there?
Oh, man. So, of course, I have to go for a huckleberry. I'm a sucker for anything huckleberry, which can be good or bad, right?
It can.
Because you get the folks who just put in a lot of the artificial huckleberry, and it's not that good. I can't tell you whether or not they use artificial or real huckleberry, probably a mixture of both. Since it's kind of a swirl, it's not an overall huckleberry ice cream.
Yep.
But I will say that it did hit that sweet spot of not being sickeningly sweet. And it was just the perfect way to spend like a 90+ degree day in Boise.
Nice.
I will say that when I did go, there were seemingly like at least 2 or 3 summer camps worth of kids that came like right after we did. And so the line was out the door, just tons of kids waiting for their cones.
That sounds like, quintessential Boise scene, to say the least. Did you have it in a cone or did you have it in a cup? What'd you do?
Waffle cone only. I never bother with the cup unless I have to like take it somewhere.
Sure.
Because, waffle cones are just one of my favorite things on earth.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm usually a cone person as well. It's part of the fun of it. Okay, for me, I'm going to go with one that's a lot newer, but is very popular, located in downtown, at least the one that I go to, which is the Still. So for people who don't know, stands for the sweetest things in life. And they're definitely like the new wave of ice cream. If there's like third wave coffee, maybe they're third wave ice cream or something.
We have generations of like styles now for ice cream. Okay. All right.
I think so. And they're, because they're doing like fairly inventive stuff. And I'd say like, honestly, my classic one in summer is you mentioned huckleberry, is their berries and lavender, which is called Idaho Wilderness. I honestly kind of appreciate that they're not saying that it's huckleberries, because maybe there's some huckleberries, but not only huckleberries. Really, really good. I like the consistency of it. You can tell like they're making it in pretty small batches. It is pretty sweet. I'm like someone who likes ice cream, but I actually don't like to eat a lot of ice cream. So when I have it, I'm going to have like a mini cone, honestly, and just really enjoy it. Another one, honestly, have you tried their fresh powder, which is their vanilla cream cheese flavor, Jimmy?
No, but I want to. One of my favorites ever was Ben & Jerry's made a Boston cream pie flavor
wow.
one. So I'm down with cheesecake flavored whatever.
Yeah, it might be a similar vibe. I never tried that Ben & Jerry's, but it's probably similar. And it's just like packed with flavor. And you're like, this is decadent. This is rich. It's so, so good. And then I'll throw in one other flavor that I really love, which is one of the things that the still is known for is they have some booze infused ice cream options, as well as they do some wine and beer pairings with their ice cream.
Sure
and
do.
my favorite booze infused one is, it's a great name too, Ed and Carl Take Reno. And it's a honey bourbon ice cream. And it is very, very, very good. Highly recommend that one.
That sounds phenomenal and very similar to one. I don't remember the name of it. It must have been one of their rotating flavors, but it was something like The Old Man or something. And it was like bourbon flavored, maybe a little like, lagerish PBR type flavor, and then with butterscotch chips.
Ooh.
And it was just, oh yeah, give me that Werther's Original, baby.
Yeah. Also, just shout out for those people. Thankfully I can eat dairy, but for people who are dairy free, I've heard that their dairy free ice cream is pretty good too. So, how about like best vibe, like a place you go in and you're just like, this is what I've been looking for in an ice cream place?
What I look for in an ice cream place is it's not too much, to be honest. I really don't care. Just like hole-in-the-wall restaurants, I don't really give a crap what the interior looks like as long as they have great food. I will say that Goodies probably has the best vibe.
Mm-hmm.
In the North End, they have 100% mastered the old soda shop candy store vibes. And it's great, especially if you can somehow plan it around. I don't know how you plan it around. I don't know what times to go there. But when there aren't like a bunch of families or kids there, which no shade on that. It's just, I kind of want to get my ice cream sooner than 20, 25 minutes.
Yeah. When you need it, you need it. You're trying to get in, get out. Hard agree with that. I would say that Goodies, again, very quintessential Boise. You see everyone at Goodies at some point in the summer, it feels like. I'm going to throw one that's similar that I tried for the first time recently, Delsa's Ice Cream Parlor. Have you checked it out yet?
Not yet. It was on my list, but you beat me to it.
Okay. I got you. I wasn't sure if you went after I told you that, hey, I finally made it. Very similar in that it's like, they've been around for like 60 years or something. And so a long time in Boise, you walk in and there's tables indoors and outside. The inside interior just feels like you're stepping back in time, like classic vinyl stools and chairs.
Red and white motif.
Yes. Yeah. With like a lot of pink and green, like bright colors. And they're playing, 50s music, that whole vibe. Teenagers working behind the counter, like flirting with each other. And then, it's all homemade on site. It's on U-Stick in like West Bench area. It's won first place many times for good reason. And I will say I did taste the huckleberry because it's like the thing I had to taste everywhere. And it's good. It's good. It's a good huckleberry ice cream for sure. They have some other things on their menu that are really great that I'll talk about later that aren't strictly just ice cream in a cone. But that place, I definitely recommend it if you haven't checked it out. And it was like, I'd had it on my list for a very long time. Finally went and totally worth it.
How would you compare like the body and richness of the ice cream compared to like the still?
Yeah, I'd say it's a little, maybe a little bit sweeter, but more like, how do I want to say it? Like thinner? I don't know what to say.
Lighter?
It's like, lighter, a lighter texture.
More classic.
Yeah. So you can probably eat more of it, right? Depending on your sweet tooth, how much you need to satisfy that. So, you can take a little bit more in and not be so overwhelmed by it. But they had lots of different flavors. There was a cantaloupe one that was really good. That was kind of interesting.
No.
You're like, no, I would never. There was also a pistachio almond ice cream that definitely felt very summer, very refreshing, but still like you're gonna remember the flavor of that for a little while in a good way.
Yeah, I can get down with that. It's such a good flavor pairing for sure.
Okay, this is the time in the episode where we might get in trouble, depending. What do you think is an overrated spot in Boise, a place that lots of people love or they go to frequently, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I kind of foreshadowed it. And again, this isn't like saying that Goodies ice cream is bad, because it's not. It's a totally fine ice cream, but I think that it is very overrated just because everyone in the city always tells you, go to Goodies, it's the best. And it's not. Like, but again, it's good, but it's not the best.
So the one thing I'll push back on is I will say that my dad, who's in his 80s now, when he came to visit Boise several years ago, I took him to Goodies for that classic like ice cream parlor, soda shop feel. And he had a banana split there. And he said it's the best banana split he's ever had. Now, maybe just like, the expectation there just reminded him of a classic ice cream. I'm not sure. But I will say when I go there, I usually am buying sour candy. So,
yes. And that says something.
Yeah, it does say something.
Yeah, because I agree. Maybe it's just my bias toward my personal ideal ice cream. I got spoiled growing up in Lewiston. We could just drive up to Pullman because Washington State University has their own campus dairy and creamery.
Oh.
And so Ferdinand's, for anyone who's WSU, U of I alumni who went over there, you know what I'm talking about. It's very close to Reed's Dairy type, very creamy, high fat content, wonderful flavor. And that's what I really look for in an ice cream compared to something that's more lighter and, probably more classic, skews classic.
Yeah, fair enough. One, I will say that honestly, like the line's always really long, which of course can mean a good thing. It can also be a bad thing. And to me, I'm like, not worth it. Fancy Freeze. I don't go to Fancy Freeze for ice cream.
Preach.
Yeah, I go there for some things, but I definitely go for their dirty sodas, quote unquote, their version of a dirty soda. Like the North End, I think is my favorite one, and it is sweet. But I'm not going there for ice cream personally.
Totally fair.
Okay, what about if you need to hit up the grocery store and you don't want to stop somewhere else? What kind of ice cream are you getting? It could be an Idaho brand or not, but what's like your favorite go-to ice cream brand these days in the store?
I skew Oregon, Tillamook all the way.
Tillamook, yes.
I mean, because that's the thing, is that you're never going to get like a disappointing Tillamook ice cream. Again, it's much more of like a fuller flavor, I would say, fuller texture. Aside from their vanilla bean and French vanilla ice cream, I believe those are a little lighter because they have like 3 or 4 different kinds of vanilla.
Yes.
But they're outstanding. I've never been like a fan of Haagen-Dazs. I know some real like Haagen-Dazs lifers.
Yeah.
Ben & Jerry's is very hit or miss, which makes sense since they do wacky stuff.
Totally.
The good that they do, like the good stuff they do, is very good. And there's not really much of an in-between for me with Ben & Jerry's. What about you?
Yeah, I was going to say Tillamook. So like the regional choice there, I'm going to throw out one that's a little bit, that's not technically an ice cream, but Talenti, the gelato brand. They have it at Winco. So you can definitely find it in on Boise shelves. They have a pistachio flavor that is very, very nice and not too sweet, and not too many pistachios, like just the right consistency. And that's a go-to for me, especially in the summer.
So something that we haven't talked about yet, Frankie, and we've talked a lot about lots of different kinds of ice cream, but what's your flavor? What's your go-to flavor?
Oh. Man, that's a great question. It honestly depends on my mood a little bit, but like in the summer, I do want to try huckleberry where I can find it because I'm just curious. Like, how are they making it? Is it legit? So that's often in the summer, but I'm mostly a chocolate person. So like throwing out another Talenti flavor, the chocolate peanut butter cup Talenti is very, very good. And yeah, when I go to like the Still, there's a chocolate flavor there. Licking the Spoon brownie batter, that's definitely a fave as well.
Okay, because I I like chocolate a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not really a chocolate ice cream person. Don't get me wrong, mint chip is really good, especially the Tillamook mint chip is one of my go-tos. But I think I usually skew toward berry flavors, fruit flavors, or vanilla, or I'll even go with, if they have some add-ons in there, some cookie dough. But when I was a kid, I was all about throwing the gummy worms on top for sure.
Oh man, I should try that just for the pure throwback factor because yeah, I haven't done that in years. Okay, do you have like, so we've mostly been talking about ice cream in the form of like cones or in cups, but there are other ways to take in your ice cream in the summer in Boise. So any like shakes or ice cream sandwiches are kind of miscellaneous. Like what's something out there that you like that isn't necessarily in a cone?
So if we're going to channel back to my childhood, I'm pretty sure that there are still ice cream trucks, roaming around the city,
Definitely.
blaring their music. It's great. I love the throwback because in Lewiston, we had this like 100-plus-year-old lady, literally, who always talked about how she won the prices right when she would go to the pool.
Gosh.
So for anyone who remembers the prices right, sick days, school sick days for sure.
Yes.
But she would always have like the novelties, like the cartoon characters with the gumball eyes that would run out of flavor in like a minute. I was always a sucker for those. The strawberry shortcake ones with like the little rice crackly coating. That was delicious. And then classic firecracker, the red, white, and blue, different flavored sort of like, it's not ice cream, but it's like a popsicle.
Yeah, definitely more on the popsicle side of things. Okay, you mentioned the strawberry, and that reminds me that at Delsa's, the thing that they also have are incredible sundaes, and the thing that I tested a few different flavors when I was there recently.
For research.
Yeah, for research. Yeah, this is all for research purposes. And the thing that I actually got that I have to recommend was a strawberry shortcake sundae. It was huge. It was huge. So if you get this, like, plan on eating it with a couple people, depending on your appetite. I definitely couldn't finish it on my own. That's for sure. It didn't even come close. But they make the shortcake there. It's with vanilla ice cream, of course, lots of strawberries, lots of whipped cream. They have other sundaes too. Like the pecan ball sounds interesting. Classic ice cream floats, of course. And so I would say Delsa's, if you wanted to get outside of the cone, try one of their sundaes because very, very, very good.
I got to get in on this strawberry shortcake sundae. Oh, it just sounds so good.
Yeah. Classic summer stuff. Okay. So yeah, overall, let's round it up. If you were to rank one thing, one place you go and one ice cream order you have when you're having a bad day, what is it?
If I'm having a bad day, man, it depends on if I want to drive out to Reed's, I would say. Because,
sure.
If you live on the bench or West Boise, or especially in the North End, it's a little bit of a haul. I'm not going to lie. I think it's totally worth it. But, if there's traffic or you have to be somewhere, or you want to get to bed early if you've had a bad day, maybe not the pick for you. But that's probably where I would go. Huckleberry is good. That's the only flavor that I tried. But they had a key lime pie, which sounds fantastic too. But if I just kind of want to stick close to home, maybe I'll go pick up some Tillamook, or if I'm really feeling it, go to Dairy Queen and get a Blizzard. Get a kid-sized Blizzard.
Kid-sized Blizzard. That's incredible. I have a couple picks. I love going to the Hawkins Pack Out drive-through. Has some good ice cream, good shakes, especially when I'm like, I don't want to see anyone. I just want to do a drive-through. That would probably be it. But if I have a little bit of energy, then I'm going to go and get the Licking the Spoon brownie batter from the Still, because I already mentioned it, but It's so, so, so good. I get that you're not a big chocolate person, but the brownie batter is fantastic. If you like brownies at all in your ice cream, I highly recommend it. And usually when I'm having a bad day, it's chocolate that I need. So that's the fix.
I'll give it a try just for you, Frankie.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much, Jimmy, for all of your great ice cream picks. And I'll see you at Reed's. I think that's the spot I need to check out next.
Please do. Yeah, let's go.
That's all for today here on CityCast Boise. The show is produced by Frankie Barnhill, Evelyn Avitia, and me, Lindsay Van Allen. Blake Hunter writes our Hey Boise newsletter, and our music is by local band Up Is the Down Is The. If you enjoyed our show today, leave us a review. It helps other people find us. We'll be back on Monday with another great local story. Catch you then.